Are we online?
Yeah, if you can see and hear us, please write something in the chat. And I'm checking here if I can see you guys. So,
I'm sure we will have some lag here.
Not necessarily.
Okay. Yeah, we're just waiting for someone to write something that we would be sure that we're online.
Okay, I can see this, which is not bad. Oh, I should turn the sound off, probably, yeah? Okay.
So, how's it going?
Okay, Facebook can see us. Let's see what's going on with YouTube, because we're streaming to both. Are we live on YouTube? Yeah, we're live on YouTube as well. Good. Okay, something. Good evening, Imperial Age. Hi guys, when I see a show in Italy, coming through good and clear. Good to see you guys. Good sound and picture going on. Okay. So, hi everybody. How are you doing?
Yeah, hi people. We're really glad to talk to you, to share some news with you, and to have questions from you. We would like to answer almost everything that is possible. And we want to share some upcoming news from Imperial Age.
And you probably watched a lot of live streams of us with other musicians in the scene, and the thing was, those musicians were so interesting that we were mostly chatting among us and them. We didn't have really time to answer your questions, but today this live stream is specifically for us to answer your questions, and we are sharing all the news that we have. And the first hint for all of you, as you can see right now, I'm drinking this beer. Actually, she's drinking this beer as well, but she's concealed carrying. So, our guest...
I'm not gonna advertise any alcohol, you know.
So, guess, why are we drinking this beer right now?
Because we're metal.
No. Why is it
because
precisely
we like alcohol?
No. Why are we normally we drink other beer, but right now we're drinking this beer? Why? And it has nothing to do with the virus, nothing to do with the corona. So what do we have? Oh my God! So many comments. I love it when it's like that.
And I love when
corona.
Someone else reads them.
Oh, you want your iPad?
No.
But we're streaming both on YouTube. Where it's already 100 people, and on Facebook at the same time. So we will be switching. In fact, you can actually hold this, please, and I will take your iPad. Where is it?
It is
okay.
far away. Yeah.
Oh, it's cheap. Not really cheap here, actually. Costs like 1.1 euro here. Cheers, better off with Newcastle Brown Ale. Well, that's for sure. Paid sponsor? Nope.
Paid sponsor.
Will you ever visit Oregon, USA? Rip Corona beer. Why rip? It's okay. I'm not familiar with this bear. It's not bear, it's beer. Okay, let's see what Facebook is rating. Okay, we have 120 people on YouTube and 60 people on Facebook. That's a lot of people. Okay.
Do you want to start with questions or with some information?
Well, we were asked to make one big announcement, and this announcement is connected with this beer. So,
okay, guys. Many people have asked us when we will play Mexico. So it's coming, and we have 3 dates confirmed. One of these dates is 28th November.
Yeah, they guessed it. Finally,
was-
you're going to Mexico. Yes, that
we
is
are.
true.
It is 28th of November. The venue is called Circo Volador in Mexico City. So this is the most known, I think, metal venue in the city. And also we have 2 more dates, but we don't know the venues yet. So we will just hold this as a secret till the better times.
But the Mexican promoter specifically asked us to announce this date today, so that's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, and it will be our first time in Mexico, so we are so happy, and we want and we wait to meet all of our Mexican fans on these shows, because so many people write me on Instagram and Facebook and wherever. So finally it happens and we are coming.
And this will also be our first show in the New World, in both Americas ever. And you can see that Mexico is not far away from the United States and Canada. And so far, our agent is in negotiations with promoters from the United States and from Canada, and we are actually waiting responses from lawyers. Well, they are waiting for responses from lawyers concerning the visas, because with all this corona shit going on, nobody has any exact answers with what's going on with the visas. And not only the corona shit, but the American government changes rules now like every week. So let's see how it goes, but we're actually really, really hoping to see not just our Mexican fans, but also our United States and Canada fans by the end of this year. So if that happens, that's going to be absolutely amazing and fantastic. So keep everything you have crossed, so that that realized. But the Mexican shows are already confirmed. So we have 3 shows. We have 1 day off to see the Great Pyramids of Teotihuacan, and I hope maybe something else. We've never been there, not as tourists. And maybe there will also be an acoustic show which will be streamed live. We are discussing this possibility.
Really?
As well. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I would love to play an acoustic show in one of the great ancient structures, for example, or in a stone amphitheater or something.
Okay.
If they have internet there. Okay. So that's the first and big announcement there. Let's see what people are writing. I have more than 300 people combined right now watching this. Oh. Make a video on the pyramids, maybe, but there's normally a lot of tourists there. Oh.
We'll ask them to dress like real metalheads. They would be like stunts,
Yeah. Right, okay. So the second thing we wanted... wait a minute. I have to check both YouTube and Facebook comments. Will you play in the UK after all? Question from Radio Bloodstream. Will we play in the UK after all?
We have our April dates moved to September.
Yep.
Am I right?
Yep.
And we're still hoping to make it to the UK and to make this UK tour happen. So far there are a few dates, I don't remember how many, but there are a few dates in the UK scheduled on September, and they are still there.
Yeah, nobody has cancelled them so far. And
we're just waiting for the UK government to let the shows
run.
go on. Yeah.
Yeah, so Russia has opened its borders. We were fearing most of all Iron Curtain #2, but luckily it didn't happen so far. So Russia has opened up its borders for business travel, which is us. So we're free to go. The question is if the UK is ready to accept us and to host these concerts at the end of September. So far, the promoter has not been, turning the reverse. The only problem right now is that when you fly into the UK, you have to spend 2 weeks on quarantine, which is not a problem for us too. But if we have to feed the entire band over 2 weeks, that's going to be a big problem. So they have to cancel that first. That's prerequisite number 1. And prerequisite number 2 is that they should allow shows. So if, for example, they say, okay, no more than 100 people, okay, then we split, we play the same show, twice or thrice.
Yeah, like Rammstein does.
Yeah, so we just split it, the first 3 hours, the first 100 people come in, then the other 100 and so forth. So we have another 3 months, and the situation changes every week, so we hope that the UK opens. If it doesn't open, then to our next part, we are just going to move it to the beginning of 2021, and we're coming to big European tour.
Yeah. Actually, we have many great plans to the upcoming season, and it includes big European tour at the beginning of 2021, and I cannot imagine how huge this tour will be, but probably like all our previous European tours, like 2 months
minimum. Yes.
minimum.
So right now we have a few dates in February booked in Germany.
Well, we know
and
how
confirmed.
usually it goes, First you have 2 dates in Germany, and then suddenly you have 3 months booked.
I'm saying that there is one date in Backstage München as usual, and it's at the end of February. I don't remember the exact date, but you can Google it. Then there is a date in Weinheim in Germany. Then there is a date in Netherlands. For the first time, we're going to play a headliner show in Netherlands. We're going to be announcing this soon, and these are confirmed. There is a show in somewhere around the Ruhr zone, somewhere in between Essen, Oberhausen, somewhere there. So, and these dates are booked for the end of February. So the plan is to tour Europe in January and February. So we're looking at a very big tour there as well, which is being booked right now at the moment. So we can actually confirm the Backstage show because the tickets are already on sale. Let me see when it is, because I don't remember. So, 23rd February 2021, Munich Backstage. So that's what's going to happen. And I think in Netherlands, I don't remember. I just don't want to, to spell a nice city the wrong way. So you can Google it. But people have been asking that. So that's about the tours. What do we have next? What was the next thing we were going to tell you? I think it had to do with the new album. Tell the guys about the new album.
That's not fair. Okay, the new album. It's coming. We're really doing our best to write, to compose a record, and do everything which is needed to be done in order to release the new album. And so far the plan is to release this album somewhere at the December, the beginning, the middle, the end. So hopefully it will be out in December. And now he's writing music, I'm working on our new costumes. Yes, we will have new costumes, I hope so. I'm telling this for myself because I just need to gather my shit together and to start working properly, because now I have maybe 2-3 sketches for mine and for Alex's costume, 1 or 2 for Anna's costume, but I need more because we need to be able to choose from something. So this is what I'm working on right now. This is my challenge to do this, and his job is to write music. Yes.
Well, I'm doing my best. Yeah. I'm just trying to read all the 100 comments we have on our Facebook, and it's giving me the creeps because I cannot do this for some reason. I'm not really proficient at streaming on Facebook, and we have like hundreds of people here, and I'm trying to read all your comments. But on YouTube I can see all of them, whereas on our Facebook I only see. So once I rejoin, I only see
the latest.
Yeah, only the latest ones.
Okay, then just read the latest.
Yeah, so as Jane said, our plan is to release the new album in December. So plan minimum is in the beginning. Yeah, plan maximum. Yeah, plan maximum is in the beginning, and plan minimum is at the end.
Plan minimum is to release it at all.
No. We have to release it because all this tour, which we have been just talking about, is the tour which is actually supposed to be in support of the new album. So it would be really, really weird to go on tour supporting the new album, which is not there yet, you know. Which is perfect.
Still yet to come. What's wrong with it?
Which we're capable of doing, but you know, not sure everybody would be completely pleased. Okay, the next news, I've seen already some questions about this, is about the live concert. So, as we mentioned before we played it, we were not going to publish it at all, but people were writing us so much that we decided that, okay, first of all, it's going to be published partially online. On YouTube, we have the first song, Love Eternal, already there. We have Turn the Sun Off on this computer here, already cut, so it's going to be published within the next few days. And approximately half of the entire concert will be uploaded to YouTube. And right now, Sergey from Arcona, he's finishing the mixing and mastering of the audio. Once it's done, the DVD will go into print, and the CDs will also go into print. So it will be a double CD jewel case, and it will be a double or triple DVD box set, probably digipack. About the Blu-ray, people were asking. Right now in Russia, no factories are producing Blu-ray.
Yeah, that's so funny.
They just don't exist. So first of all, we're going to do the DVD, but simultaneously we're going to be searching for factories in the vicinity, since the borders are now open, maybe in Bulgaria and maybe in Poland, you know, are where they print the Blu-ray, and ways for bringing them here and then shipping them to you guys. So we expect this to be both DVD and Blu-ray, but the DVD is going to come first. It will have 19 tracks, so it's going to be missing the 2 new songs. Why? Because they have to be released when the album is out. But all the rest is going to be there. So maybe after the album is released, we can release them as some super exclusive bonus material. Okay, guys. Will the DVD be available as a European region DVD to play on a British player? Actually, I don't know. This is the first time I hear that there are different regions for a DVD, but I will ask the team who's doing the mastering to make sure that it's possible to play everywhere. If there are some impossible regional standards, then of course we will make a certain print for the UK, because you guys buy so much from our web store that that if you need it separately, we will
play this concept one more time.
No, but we're going to do this as well. Right. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Checking out the questions.
Why do I need to check them too?
Well, maybe you want to answer something. Well, I think I just answered that one. Still really looking for
food you miss when you're on tour. I think for you it is definitely
salad.
No.
Salad.
No.
Yes. Salad. Buckwheat we bring with us. That's not a problem. Salad. The kind of salad we do at home. That's the thing I miss. I wish you would work on an electric balalaika in a song or two. Actually, we have it in a few songs.
It wasn't electric.
Yeah, but for example, in the song Dominicanus, there's a balalaika playing on the background. Right, guys, I'm one of those who wait with excessive desire the new album. Yeah, everybody. We too. Want to see you again in Porto. Portugal will definitely be part of the tour. Any chance you come to Switzerland? Hopefully, yes. I hope it will happen in the winter. Who designs your album covers? Jan Irlund from Finland, the same guy who designs Man of War. Imperial Age rocks the world, epic and cool band. Thank you. I love the music and the songs. When comes the new album? In December. Hope to see you again in Poland. Of course, we will be passing through Poland, so we're going to play there for sure. Rather drink with Odin in Valhalla than cry with Jesus in heaven. It's a matter of preference, I guess. Love the costumes, Jane. Very creative design.
Thank you.
What will be your new album about? Can you explain to guys what our new album will be about? Because if I start doing that, we will sit here until the morning.
To put it short, our new album. No. Again, we start again. Okay. As you maybe have noticed, that our previous album, The Legacy of Atlantis, and Warrior Race, these albums, they were like conceptual about one specific theme, and The Legacy of Atlantis is a metal opera which has the storyline, and we're kind of tired of it. We just want to write music, and we don't want to think about making all the songs connected with each other, just we do it as it goes. And so far we have songs which are mostly about exploring the new horizons. All our music is still about ancient civilizations. It is still about the development of human soul, consciousness, whatever, about self-development, self-evolution. But now we just want to write more, a bit more fast, more dancing music, more upbeat. And these songs that we have so far, they are about, as I said, exploring, about the courage, about people who want to know something new, to learn something new about the world, something like this.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried to make it short.
Well, I think we can share the name of the album. What do you think?
You can try.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay.
It was, this time it wasn't so difficult to come up with a name.
Yeah, so the name, I think we had, how many, like 5 iterations of thinking, of brainstorming, and then question, when are you guys going to come to London? Well, right now the date is 24th September. Let's hope the British government organizes everything in such a way that live shows are possible by that time. If not, we move it to January, but we
were
still
talking
playing.
About the fucking
Yeah. Sorry, I got a wee bit distracted because we've just been talking about that. So, the name of the new album is New World, without without the article. It's just called New World. So there will be a big sci-fi Atlantean type ship on the
Atlantean type shit.
No, ship with a P at the end. On the cover, and we thought that this name is quite ambiguous and it has many meanings, and all these meanings more or less relate to what's going on right now in general. And the main idea is, to go beyond what's already known, to go beyond what has been so far deemed as the ultimate truth, to go beyond the dogma, to defy authority, at least the authorities which have been here so far. So once again we will have the ocean theme. For some reason it keeps following us. And if somebody has read the book The Morning of the Magicians, that's something which is very in line with what we are probably putting into the new album.
I totally agree.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's see what people write. The problem is I can only see either Facebook or YouTube, so I'm gonna fetch the iPad.
Okay.
Yeah, you can answer questions in the meantime.
New World, yes, New World. Come play in San Diego, California soon. Maybe everything is possible,
I think we had a California.
I want to see some sci-fi shit. Yes, I think that actually would be something new. Yeah? How are you? I'm kind of good, as you can see. I'm healthy, I'm okay. Best memories from the tour with Therion. Actually, we had 2 tours with Therion, and it is very hard for me to choose something what I can call best memory from this tour. Maybe I think it would be the biggest audience. It was maybe in Poland.
Yeah, in Warsaw.
Yeah. But you know, the whole atmosphere of crew working together, of this touring schedule, of everything that is going on around you when you're on tour, it's just so specific and so strange feelings that work like some kind of drugs maybe for you, and you got addicted to this. So these tours, they were our first tours in Europe, and we were a supporting band back there, and these tours they made me really addicted to all this music life. So this is the biggest influence that these tours had on me. What's for you?
The worst or the best? What was the question?
The best.
The fans, of course. So meeting all the people. That's the ultimate go of the entire tour. I'm absolutely
it's enough.
I'm absolutely serious here. We had two questions here I read. One was, do you plan to write something about the Vikings and samurai? And the second one was, what was the inspiration behind Anthem of Valor? Well, these two go together because the inspiration behind Anthem of Valor were the Vikings. So that's one song about the Vikings. Concerning samurai, well, we're not Sabaton, to write about all the warrior cultures of the world and specific battles. So that's more to them. But who knows? Japan is a very interesting country, and we actually are looking forward to playing there once.
I think we have a song about Vikings.
Yeah, Anthem of Valor.
Not only the Battle Heart, no?
Battle Heart, no. That's Scottish.
Okay.
Connections.
Too personal, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Okay, here's a question for you. Jane, a non-musical question. Do you sometimes work as a fitness or fashion model?
I cannot name it a work, so this is not my occupation. But yes, I have photo shoots from time to time. It has nothing to do with some fitness advertisement. I don't know why. Maybe I'm not as fit as it should be.
Oh no, because we were not putting any effort into that.
Yeah, that's true.
Music is quite
So I do photo shoots as every artist does, because really every artist and the whole artistic work it includes not only your primary occupation as a musician, for example, but we all work with our faces and bodies, especially when we're on stage, when we film music videos, and when we're doing interviews, when we're doing live streams like this. So the body is very important for every musician. This is my personal opinion. So I think that modeling and being an artist, musician, these two things, they are closely connected. And it is impossible to be a musician and not to be a model, both for girls and for boys.
Well, I'm a very bad model, so I cannot offer much in terms of looks, but I think it's like a rapping, the music is the alpha and omega, but if it's wrapped in something which is pleasing to the eye, that is better. So The problems start when it's vice versa, and I know a few bands who are vice versa, but I'm not going to say the names. What do we have here?
Someone forgot the name of the book. Could you please repeat it?
Morning of the Magicians. I don't remember the authors, but they're French. It was initially published in French. So that's more or less what is the new album about. Right. There were two more things I wanted to announce.
It was Patreon.
Oh yeah. Okay, guys. So here is the two important things.
It actually, it is not the first time we're announcing this.
No.
But this time...
This time is for real, yeah. So we're finally launching our Patreon page. We have been thinking for ages. I mean, we have been lagging with this for so long for one simple reason, because we hate it when people launch a Patreon campaign without giving anything of value in return. So like when they say, oh, I'll give you a shout out in Instagram. Hello, thanks for giving me €10. We feel that this is not exactly our way. So we were thinking of what real value we could offer. We analyzed what other people were doing, and we decided that it's simple as fuck. So we won't have all these tiers. You can pay $1 per month, you can pay $1.5 per month, you can pay $1.7 per month, or $1.75 per month, or $500 per month. We're gonna have...
Can you please move a bit forward, because I'm really worried about this.
Oh, it's okay. They survived 3 tours, so it's okay. And people were moving, especially Drunken Belt was moving much more. So the thing is, we're going to have just one tier, which will be probably €10 per month, and that's it. And for that, we will turn Patreon into our backstage camera. So everything that happens backstage, we have fantastic backstage videos ready from the filming of the Legacy of Atlantis music video. We have a fantastic backstage video from the live concert.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, well, you should.
I would be the first one to pay €10.
You should, it's cool. Then we have videos from the recordings of Turn the Sun Off, which were like 10 years ago.
Oh yes, I've started, I found this hard drive with all these videos not so long ago, and I've started to rewatch it because I needed to know what actually do we have. And there are just such a funny videos of Alex, sitting for half an hour and waiting for some bass player to play like 3 notes.
Wrong.
It is really so funny.
Again. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of fun watching that.
Yeah, 1 hour. Just no movements.
Well, of course, we're kidding. It's going to be cut. It's like, but yeah.
Yeah, but really, back then, there was no Patreon, no such things.
There were no Facebook ads. There was MySpace.
But still, I think it was your idea to
record everything.
To record everything. So we really have tons of
footage.
Yeah, tons of it.
And all of this will be put in chunks onto Patreon. Also, the second backstage thing is we're writing the new album now, and those who subscribe to the Patreon will be able to see the album in the making. So normally artists only share the end product. What we're going to do, we're going to show you the rough product. So the demo, you can see my screen when I'm composing it. No, not for 3 hours, but after those 3 hours. Because
I just imagined that instead of composing, like the bosses, they set up a camera which catches the worker's screen, and you can see when your worker is playing games. When you play Age of Empires instead of composing.
Yeah, but what I'm saying that we will show the music in the making, so things which you never normally hear or see. It's not even the demo; it's the pre-demo. It's how the song comes together.
Yeah, 10,000 doubles, 10,000.
No. I mean, like, for example, now we have like half the album ready on there, but it's not how it's going to sound, because it has simple samples. We just show the melody. It has no vocals right now, for example. It has only the vocal lines in piano and things like that, which gradually then we record the vocals on top and we listen to it. And then we change the samples to something better, and then the MIDI guitar changes into the real guitar, and you will be able to listen and see all that, which is obviously not for the public eye, so we close it down and we leave it on Patreon. So I think that for many people this will bring some value. And speaking of Patreon, we also got tons and tons and tons of questions about record labels. So that's a big story in itself. Probably 2, 3, 4 years ago, maybe even like 2 years ago, we would sign any contract which would be offered to us. I
remember our long discussions about what label do we want to sign up with, what conditions do we want to have, but this is kind of irrelevant now, because now, thanks to you guys, we have so good support from you that we don't actually need any label, and that we're really seriously doubt what label can do to our benefit what we cannot do ourselves. Yes?
Yeah, I'll just interrupt. The Günther Ruckhofer says that actually Nightwish have shown some of their composing schedules. Could you please send me a link, because I'm personally a great fan of Thomas Holopainen. He's like my most favorite composer. So could you please send me that, because I haven't seen that. I would love to actually see how he works. And he writes, would be good to have Holopainen on board with you with a Nightwish Imperial Age doubleheader. Not a doubleheader, we would be a small support act, but yes, of course, that would be cool, but that's not for us to decide. Returning to the label issue, this, I just said, because we had so many questions about this, and also because there is this misunderstanding, I really wanted to share this with you guys, that the world is changing so rapidly. A few years ago, as Jane said, we were just thinking of, can we please sign with someone? Why doesn't anybody want to sign us? We were sending...
Yeah, we were trying to find where did we make a mistake that no label wants us. Yes? Are you here?
Yeah, I was just reading the comments. So we were thinking, we were sending our music to all the big labels out there, and we were either ignored or declined. And we were sitting and thinking, okay, what's going wrong? Why are they signing all these bands? And these bands are going nowhere, but they're not...
And I think that we made a good decision to wait and to keep...
But it wasn't our decision, it was forced upon us,
No, I mean that 99% of bands, they would just quit the whole music business after a few years of unsuccessful attempts. But we decided to just continue doing what we were doing, and during the last few years of running the whole thing ourselves, we just learned to do it in that way that we're actually absolutely okay with it, and actually that we some time ago we noticed that the amount of work, I mean non-musical work, like shop, like sending out the orders and stuff like this, it takes a lot of our time, and we need to hire people. So now we have kind of our own small micro label, yes. So we have a few people working for us, and we just don't know why really do we need anybody to take some noticeable part of our income, and there is a big question of what we will get in return, because what we can see that most of the labels, they are getting kind of outdated in sense of the modern advertising techniques. I think Alex knows more stuff than any PR manager from a label which is really...
Not PR, advertising.
Yeah, sorry.
That's important.
Okay.
That's a different thing.
Okay. So this is it, and really we are in the situation when we're quite okay on our own, and we're not denying, and we're not against having contract at all. We're against having standard and bad contracts. So if we will have some good contract, if we would be granted with something that will be beneficial for both, not only for the label but for us too as a band, then we're of course open to any type of deals if it is beneficial for both sides.
Yeah, because it's been funny, at first we were so much ignored over the first years that in order to survive we had to learn to do everything ourselves. We established this connection between us and between you, which is called direct to fan connection, and then all of a sudden in April, after the online show, which was so successful, we suddenly had big record labels approaching us and talking to us. One of them made an offer, a specific offer, and the other one was talking to us, but we said, guy, we don't want that at all. Why? Because we finally and suddenly found ourselves in the situation where the tables were completely reversed. So if any young or upcoming musicians are watching this and thinking, why doesn't anybody want to sign me? Well, maybe you don't want that, because we also...
I can answer the question why they are not signing you, because it is too much money needed to be invested in you to get any profit from you. So they are waiting for you to become big by yourself,
But when you are big, you no longer need them. So what they offered us was like investing a really small amount of money. They thought it was a big amount of money, but that's what you guys pay us in a month, and getting the rights for the new album for 20 years. you know, and we went like, okay guys, come on, you know, we can do crowdfunding. And I mean, you guys paid us $11,500 for the online concert in donations. And these guys are really big, major label. They offered to invest that into the promotion, that amount of money, into the promotion of the new album. And then they wanted the rights for the album for 20 years to come. And we just sit there and we think, okay, we can just play another online concert, you know, get that money in donations, put it into the album, and keep the rights to the album. So where is that logic? And we also compared, we have friends, you know, among other artists, we have good friends who are on big record labels, and we compared our books with their books. So we opened our bookkeeping, they opened their bookkeeping, and we compared. And in most cases, we as an independent band actually earn more from our music than they earn from their music, even when their sales are actually bigger, because they only get a small fraction from it. And under these circumstances, we decided to continue, you know, to continue it being the way it is. So it's us, it's you, and without the middleman. And here I'm actually coming to the next point, which is going to be our next crowdfunding campaign. So we told you about the Patreon, and the album is coming out in December, but we want to do it the proper way and release 3 or 4, actually the plan is, singles ahead of the album, and we want to make 4 music videos for that album. Now, our latest music video, The Legacy of Atlantis, which was done with your money, is now above 1,100,000 views on YouTube in, what was it? I think it's exactly 6 months right now. So we had a comparison. Natalie, who's working for us as PR manager and general manager, I told her to set up a table and compare the performance of this music video with the performance of the music video released by the main labels in metal at the same time in December, and we're like in the top 5 or 6. So our bigger bands with bigger budgets, with huge infrastructure behind them, their music videos performed worse than The Legacy of Atlantis, which was funded completely by you and made by us a year ago. So that's another reason. If you look at any big label, you will see that it has a small percentage of really big bands, maybe 5, or 10, and you have a huge amount of bands, the names of which you have never heard, and they're all signed to the same label. The question is, why is there so many unknown bands on any big label? And why are they specifically promoting some bands and they seem not to promote the others? So, what's the point in that? But returning to the crowdfunding, so we are going to launch within a few weeks a big crowdfunding campaign on our website. We are building our own crowdfunding platform so that we don't have to share with anyone. A big crowdfunding campaign for 4 new music videos, so that each one of them could repeat the success of The Legacy of Atlantis or become even more, so that we can do these music videos ahead of the new album and simply break it, do it as big as ever. And we really rely on your support for that to happen.
As we always did.
Yeah. Right. So that were all our announcements. So now we're going to answer all your questions because we have reopened the devices. We cannot see the first questions which were asked in the beginning of the stream. So please repeat them, so that we can see them again. And we're going to be answering them right now. Okay, the question is, what do you guys do? What do we do? That's a good one. We only do music, so luckily, again, thanks to you, we can do it full time.
No, I do fitness as well.
Yeah, I mean, the guy is asking about our job.
Yes,
I also eat, I shit at the toilet, as all people do, and many other interesting things, but if we're talking about the job, that's the job. Okay.
What are you drinking?
Right now or in general? That was Corona beer because we have just announced our first ever concerts in Mexico, which are happening in November.
And the question from the same guy, how much does a music video cost?
Oh, it depends on the music video.
Yeah, it can be from, I don't know, 100...
From zero
to...
millions. There are people, not in this genre, but in rap, hip-hop, who film the video on their iPhone and it gets millions of views. So it depends. Or you can have some Star Wars type CGI and it will cost $1 million and everything in between. So we are going to be aiming for approximately $2,000-3,000 per video, like the Legacy of Atlantis, which costed I think $2,500 to make. So we're going to be around those sums of money. But if you guys give us more, we spend on that and make more. No, not on beer, of course, but
it sounded like this.
On the video.
We have no problems with find a way where to spend money.
Okay. What's your favorite casual clothing style for both of you? Oh, you don't want to see mine.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's just slippers and shorts and
with the holes in his armpits. Yeah. Like this.
Jane looks cool though.
Yes, I do. I prefer. I think I can call it gothic.
Yeah, like
kind of
gothic girl style.
Yeah.
Especially in this weather. Mm-hmm.
In this weather, I prefer my religion is the less is on me the better it is.
Okay. Do you expect to have any special guests on the new album? Not really. We had a lot of special guests on the previous albums. This will probably be only us because we finally have a stable lineup for 3.5 years.
There is a question for you.
Yeah.
Somebody asked a question during your life with Mark and didn't get the answer. So, do you study Hermetism or Theosophy?
Ooh.
Yeah, this can be really long.
Okay.
Prepare your drinks, people.
Little action here.
Yeah.
Hermeticism can be, assessed in different ways. So it comes from the word hermetic, and the word hermetic comes from Hermes Trismegistus, who was an ancient Egyptian magician. Also, it's a direction in Western occultism and Western magic, which is very broad. Nobody really has a direct definition of what that is. Theosophy is just it's more of a philosophical doctrine which was developed by Madame Blavatsky, who was the Russian-Polish esotericist of the 19th century. I don't really like theoretics. I prefer practice. So probably the direct answer would be that we're closer to the Hermetists, but again, more in the practical direction, not in the book reading. That's a very short answer.
It was.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, question for you, Jane. The tattoo on your right shoulder. What was your inspiration for it?
This one. Actually, this is the result of the work of one good girl. I've just asked her to draw something for me because I wanted to have our band sign somewhere on my skin, on my body. And also I wanted it to be surrounded by some beautiful elvish style things. So I've just described her what I want and sent her some pictures of things I like. And she drew it, I think, in one evening. It was the evening before we had our meeting scheduled, and I remember we were on Gregorian show, or was it Nightwish? I can't remember.
It was the same venue, and it was very close to each other, so I don't really remember.
Me too. So I remember sitting on a show, Nightwish or Gregorian, it doesn't matter. It was really late at night, and I just got this sketch from her, and this is it. It's just our sign, which I just kind of needed to have on my body. Okay, there is a question for you, actually, about the publishing rights. How do you do with publishing rights? Generally needs big agencies to access to that rights.
Okay, that's obviously a colleague asking.
Yeah, of course.
There is a very good website. It's called Sound Exchange, which basically puts you in contact with CSAC, which is the American publisher, and they take care of that. Also, you can sign up to BMI, which is not a problem too. And on top of that, websites like TuneCore and CD Baby, they also can take care of your publishing. So that's no longer a deal. And if you live in a proper country, you can sign with your local publishing authority. Like for Germany, it's going to be Gamma. I don't remember what's it for the UK. For America, it's the before mentioned CSAC, BMI, and I don't remember the.
But there are international agencies.
Yeah, the American ones. Why are we are working with CSAC, with the American, because they are international.
And because our local Russian agency
sucks. Yeah.
it will not pay you anything.
Yes,
never.
So the Russian RAW, they just take the money, but they don't pay to the artist.
And they keep them.
Yeah. So you have to sue them, and it doesn't always work, so it's easier to sign up to an American one. Right. If there are some musicians watching this and you have some technical questions, please ask. There are no secrets here. We actually want to help. Right. What else do we have? Saludos desde Guadalajara, Mexico. See you in November, hopefully. As I heard, you are very interested in alternative archaeology. Do you also follow guys like David Wilcock, Michael Saylor, or Corey Good, and things regarding SSP, secret space projects, and aliens, UFOs? Well, I think aliens are no longer a conspiracy theory because the Pentagon officially admitted their existence. At least they officially admitted the existence of UFOs, and they published 3 videos which they have taken. So that's no longer an issue. Concerning alternative archaeology, yes, sure, that's one of our topics. But that's a very long discussion, I would say. Can you summarize it? Make it short.
I was thinking about the UFOs. Could you please repeat?
Yeah, about alternative archaeology. Can you summarize our position on that, please?
Alternative archaeology is is very good. It is very interesting and informative.
That's a bit long.
Long?
Well, that was an intro, I suppose.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, there are many things that you can find in internet, which were found by the alternative archaeologists, like, for example, in Chinese pyramids and stuff like this.
It's a good example for people who have
Yes.
never heard of the topic.
Can you please be more careful?
Yeah, it's just my back. It's okay.
Okay. So, there are a lot of interesting things on Earth which were, and I suppose will never be accepted by the history, like with by historians and the science which you can find in universities, like for example what you were studying at the university. So there are a lot of restrictions for our public science, let me call it like this, but actually there are tons of evidences of really interesting things that were existed on Earth long before, and that no science can explain. For example, the Egypt pyramids. You can say something about how they were built, about these stones put together with no gap
in between.
Yeah.
No, what Jane is saying is that basically all around the world are, and actually in a certain pattern, there are numerous objects which are direct evidence that there was a prehistorical advanced progenitor civilization which existed ahead of what is written in the textbooks, and that there were technologies which were impossible to replicate today. And these objects are usually made of granite, and they are usually cut. They're usually huge granite blocks, and they're cut and put together in such ways with which are impossible to do today. And at close examination, you can find the traces of machinery which was used, like circular saws and lasers and other types of instruments which we don't have a name for. But these traces, they actually exist in there, and this has been studied, this has been well documented. It's just ignored by the mainstream science, but if you start searching for the information, you find like tons, absolutely tons of evidence, which is what is called alternative archaeology. That's a very short way of saying
tonight I'm really surprised how short could you be.
I'm doing my best.
Is everything okay with you? I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. This one is for you, and I would like you to read it yourself because it's kind of
Which
long.
one? The big one?
The big
Okay.
one, yeah.
What are your best tips for unsigned bands like ours? We are with Centric Music Publishing and DistroKid, but our biggest issue is securing shows. What would you suggest? There we go. Right, so I would suggest one thing, that you should understand that the difference between you and us, on the one hand, and Iron Maiden and Metallica on the other hand, is not the record label. It's not the publishing company. It's not the, the status, whatever. It's only one parameter. And this parameter is the fans. So it's the amount of fans. Everything in the music business rotates around the artist and the fans. These two are the two essentials, like yin yang, plus minus. This is the system. Everything else, the entire industry exists in between. So if the artist doesn't have any fans, the artist is not interesting for the industry. If the artist has a lot of fans, the artist is interesting for the industry. Okay? The more fans you have, the more you are able to dictate the conditions on which you work. The less fans you have, the more it is likely for somebody from the industry to dictate things upon you. So all your efforts should be focused on A, getting new fans. That means exposing the maximum number of people to your music. Number 2, keeping those fans. That means being fucking nice to them. That means giving them what they want from you, For example, in our shop, if the CD doesn't reach the fan, we just send a new one for free. Because that's our fans, We want them to be happy. So, if you have a lot of fans in a certain destination, like in a certain city, then you write the local promoters and you say, look guys, I have 2,000 people from your city on my mailing list here. So at least 10% of those will come to the show. That's 200 people, and you will get a gig. If you're capable of doing that multiple times, you can write a booking agent and say, look, I played here. That's the cat on the background destroying the armchair. So
I cannot watch
because during the daytime she sleeps, it's very hot here, and now it's the evening, and she woke up and she simply kills the armchair. So but that's my point. Get yourself fans where you want to tour, and then the venue which doesn't book you is just stupid because they're losing money. So
you have another question about the promotion.
Yeah,
from different guy. We just finished recording our first album, and what would you recommend we do now? We're thinking about going to small labels, or would you recommend to go to the big players straight away?
Once again, please, I was reading the comment about the cat. We just finished recording our first album. What would you recommend we do now? We're thinking about, that's from another band, we're thinking about going to small labels, or would you recommend to go to the big players straight away? I love your music. Well, you're
not interested for the big players for sure.
You probably missed what I was saying. My personal recommendation, it goes like this. If you're capable of taking care of marketing, production, and shipping your music yourself, you don't need a label. You actually don't want a label, because if you want to live from your music, if you want to quit your day job and do music full time, even the big label will not give that to you, because I'll open one little secret for you. Most of the bands whom you listen are in your earbuds. They do not do music full time, even on the biggest labels. They all have day jobs. I was myself shocked to find that out. So there are bands who are much bigger than Imperial Age who have to work day jobs, because that's how the industry is organized. And some of them often complain about that publicly. So what my recommendation for you is, if you have your business shit together, if you're prepared to do business, then you should find out how to print your CDs, how to sell them. Open a web store on Shopify. Print your CDs. Learn how to do Facebook ads.
But this is the hardest thing to learn.
But that's hard, especially for a musical artist. I personally spent 2 years learning that, and I spent thousands of dollars on courses which teach how to do that. Jane saw all of that. She can reference that. So there are no easy ways. If you're not prepared to do that, you should find yourself a label. You're not interesting for bigger labels. They're not listening to the music. They're looking at how many fans you have. That's the thing you should understand. If you have the best music in the world, but nobody knows about it, you would be interesting to the labels 30 years ago, maybe even 20, but not in 2020, not now. They are interested in your fan base. But once you have a fan base, you don't need the label. So that's the paradox. So you should focus on getting fans. If you have just recorded the album, the most stupid thing you can do with it is publish it straight away. Don't do that. Publish the first singles. Start crowdfunding. Get music for get money. Make a music.
Before starting crowdfunding,
you need fans. Yeah.
You need to find the way how to let the whole world know that your exists at all, that your band is here on earth, and that everyone can listen your music. The greatest problem that every musician has is to the biggest challenge is to make people know that you are here. Here she is.
Yeah.
The destroyer of my armchair.
Somebody demanded the cat, and that was the cat. Okay. Okay. You can leave her. She's not a social cat. We don't want to stress her. So yeah, so publish a few singles first on digital, on Spotify, physically. But focus on the fans. That's what I'm trying to say. People start focusing on sales. I don't know, something. Focus on the fans. You need fans. So I would recommend you to learn how Facebook advertising works. I would recommend you to learn how funnel marketing works. In short, what's funnel marketing? In short? Yeah, it's very simple. When you go out into the street and you meet, a person whom you find sexually attractive, you don't go and say, hey, let's fuck, In a very small percentage of cases, this will actually end in sexual intercourse. But in the remaining percentage, this will end in a big slap on your face, and end of story. So normally, you don't do that. Normally you say, hello, my name is this and this, and what's yours? You have a conversation, you exchange, you see if your worldview is similar, then you go and date somewhere, then you go and eat something together, then you communicate for some time and only then you have sex. So that's the same process happens in human communication everywhere. If you just pop your ad on Facebook and say, hey guys, this is my music, buy it. Well, the person who's passing by is going to say, why the fuck should I buy this? I've never heard of you. Who the fuck are you? That's the problem. So how do big labels go around that problem? They take a huge amount of cash and they throw it at the wall and basically they see what sticks. So, so they push a huge amount of cash and they start promoting you out of every household appliance, and in the hope that some people will buy it just because they hear your name for a zillionth time. And they're just, okay, who the hell is that? Let's see. The other way is that you actually try to earn the trust of your future fan. So, for example, what we do, we offer our fans 7 free songs. Okay? So, in exchange for their email address. So we say, okay, look, we give you 7 free songs, and you sign up to our mailing list. And you can unsubscribe whenever you wish. And when they subscribe, if they like the 7 free songs, and if they don't unsubscribe, then we tell them more about the band. We tell them the background, the story behind it, and everything. So we try to make friends with people. We communicate. We do live question and answers like this one here. And we establish this connection, and then people naturally buy the music because if you like each other, then why not? So this is the proper path of human communication. That's the mistake that most people make. They just jump in and say bye 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 bye. It's not like that. You should. There are like 30 million songs released every fucking Friday on Spotify. So in order to attract somebody's attention, in order to show them something, you should be the first one who offers something. So I would recommend to simply give people, some free music to listen, and if they really like it, they will support you. It's simple as that. That's the principle. Okay, I think that was one of the long answers, right?
Yes.
So, what else do we have?
I have a lot.
Oh, okay.
For example, what are your educational backgrounds? What is your background?
My background, historical faculty, Moscow State University. And yours?
Hello, I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
So this is it.
Yeah, and we both
ended up in music. Yeah.
Well, we never actually worked. So we studied, but then we switched to music. We never actually worked. I never worked as a scientist. Jane never worked. Well, she worked as in, postgraduate studies, but it's not like...
Yeah.
Right!
When writing a song, do you have a particular idea regarding the guitar sounds, such as solid body, acoustic or semi-hollow, or do you let the guitarist choose his own sound for that particular track?
None of that. The guitar sound should be consistent on the entire album. So we choose the guitar sound for the album, and then there are minor variations from song to song.
I'm absolutely satisfied with your answer.
I hope the author of the question is as well. Right. What else do we have? You said you had a lot of questions.
What is the metal scene like in Russia?
Ooh, you're an expert in answering that question.
I'm an expert
in answering that question. Yeah.
Okay. Actually, the situation in Russia is not very cheerful if we talk about the metal scene, because it gets smaller with every year, and it has never existed for the local bands. That's why we were never aiming to get big or known in Russia, because it makes sense only if you sing in Russian, because people don't know English language here at all, and they think that it is kind of that you're kind of traitor if you're singing in different language, and they usually ask like, why are you singing in English? You're Russian guys, why not in Russia? And we usually answer, okay, look, we want to be known not only in Russia, we want to be known all over the world, and the international language is English, so that's why. And actually we never put... We did at the beginning, but I was always against it. So we almost never put any efforts in promoting ourselves in Russia, because it's just no way to make it happen. The audience here doesn't like local bands, and I know that the same situation is in almost every country, that the local bands have some problems with the local audience. Maybe that's just some strange mentality that people like foreign artists more. I don't know why. So that's it for international bands. Now they usually play Moscow and St. Petersburg, and these are the two cities that can be profitable for the promoter. All other cities would get promoter in minus. And some huge bands, they still do tours, like Russian tours, with maybe, I don't know, 5-10 cities, but as I just said, only Moscow and St. Petersburg can pull enough crowd to have a good show. It should be not very pleasant for the bands to play before, I don't know, 50 people when they usually play like a stadium. It is kind of exaggerated example, but still. So it is almost no metal scene in Russia, at least for local bands. Do you have anything to add?
No.
Good.
So what, as Jane mentioned, well, I just want to say that, yeah, I never understood this thing which exists only in Russian, nowhere else. You should only sing in Russian. You should not sing in a foreign language. I cannot imagine Swedes or Finns or Germans or, I don't know, Poles or any other country saying, no, Finns are extremely proud, with Nightwish, with him, with Children of Bodom, for being Finnish bands and internationally famous, and they sing in English. And the Finns have no problem with that. Why do Russians have problems with us singing in English? I have no idea. But we're ready to sing in Russian if Russian becomes the international language.
Yeah, that will be fun.
Which probably is in a parallel dimension.
The parallel dimension, okay, yeah. And, by the way, there was a question about English. How did you learn English so well? How did you learn English so well?
I grew up in the UK. So
and this is not fair, I think, actually.
It's not my fault.
That's not fair.
It's not my fault. Okay, we have a wonderful question here. And actually we have two questions from the same author. The first question from that author, let me find it, goes like this. Oh no, we have three. So, question number one. If roses are red, why are violets blue? You're better at biology. Can you answer that, please?
What?
If roses are red, why are violets blue? By the way, are they blue? I think violets are violet, but okay.
It has to do with the presence of the specific pigment there, and this is the result of the expression of some specific genes in the cells of this specific organism. That's simple.
There you go. Okay, next question from the same author. It reads, is this a good question? I can roger that.
Yes.
It's a fantastic question. Absolutely. Right. And the third question from the same author reads, between the two of you, who would you rather read this comment? Oops, I think I just answered it.
Oh.
Okay. That does seem strange. I agree. I think you both have a very European outlook. I think we have a more of a global outlook, actually.
Global
outlook, yeah.
With no face, like.
No, outlook, they mean mental outlook.
Ah, okay. You have 10% remaining.
Of the battery?
Yes.
Don't worry.
Who made the photo where Jane has 4 arms holding the CDs? He did it. And he did it twice.
It requires some advanced photography, to capture the arms.
And some additional arms.
Yeah.
What's the meaning of your tattoos?
Well, that's going to be a long one.
No, it will not, because it is simple. I have an ankh, and this is the symbol of the life energy. I have a cat, and that means cat. I have our band sign. I have some hertogram here, which is the band's hymn sign. And I have some flowers here, which means life energy too, same as ankh.
I have a question in Russian here. It's called "Вы верите в сумеречную зону?" In English, do you believe in the twilight zone? Difficult to answer because A, I don't know what the twilight zone is. Second, I don't believe in anything. I only believe in my own experience, and that's quite a big one. So,
do you think to relocate?
We are thinking about that all the time, actually.
And more and more with every day.
Year, with every day, with every year. Yeah. Question is where and how. What else?
As an American, I listen to a lot of foreign language music. Could you do some Russian songs on a future album to play locally? This is the question of inspiration, you know. It is impossible to... Or you just want us to play some Russian song.
Well, we have one Russian song, I think that's enough.
Yes, but for me personally, you know, I don't really like singing in Russian. It is very hard for vocal articulation, really. And it is much easier to sing in English, though there are different vowels in English and in Russian, so we just have to get used to the pronunciation of these vowels, and it is easier in all other aspects.
Yeah, Paul Stevenson is asking about our plans for the UK in September 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, Manchester, London, Birmingham, Glasgow.
There is a very interesting question. Where is the UK?
Where is the UK? The UK is in the western, more northwestern part of Europe, being an island. Is that a serious question? Or is it from the same author who asked if his question was a good question?
I don't know.
Where in the UK, they're asking. Not where is the UK. Where in the UK?
Sorry.
London, Manchester, Birmingham, Glasgow.
How could you remember this?
Because it's only 4 dates.
Impossible to remember. Impossible.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Looks like questions are slowly drying out. If somebody wanted to ask us something, you can do so. If not, then we're going to proceed to recording the Patreon video while we're still here.
While we're still no grade.
Yeah. So
before you put on your t-shirt.
So if we haven't answered something you wanted us to answer, post it now, okay?
Oh, there are some questions appeared here. Do we plan to visit Belgium in the upcoming year?
Yes.
And related to the topics of your songs, do you compose it based only on what you read, or some kind of spiritual inspiration also pops up and you write the songs? Does any of the lyrics come as a typography?
Can you answer that question?
I think it is mostly for you, because you are the main composer of the band.
Okay, so it's based on occult history and on personal experience.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's not fair.
Well, you asked me to say it, so... Do you send direct messages to fans? Yes, a lot of them by emails. So we try to respond all the emails which are sent to us. which is sometimes tricky. If
The
you
question
have
about the
100
UK, it was about where were you brought up in the UK?
Southend, Exeter, Glasgow. So first we live in England, then we moved to Scotland. Right.
Which country do you think has the best metal bands? Impossible to answer, I think.
What do you mean best metal bands? It's a point of view. There are tons of great metal bands from so many countries. It would be not fair on the other countries to name just one, you know. Or
will you play in Israel?
do you have partners? Yes. Huh?
Will you play in Israel?
In Israel, we're longing to play in Israel, not only to play there, but to visit the places of power in there. So we're waiting for an offer. You know? Oh. They say that the way we speak influences the way we make music. Apparently Russian is very rich and tonal. Do you feel there is some truth to this and helpful in the way you make music? We try to be international, you know, we don't have any national connections. So the fact that we were born in Russia, that right now we reside here, and next year we might reside somewhere else, doesn't have any effect on what we write. It's not tied to any specific nationality or culture. You know, you don't choose where you're born, so to say. Do you have any advice for all musicians breaking back through again? Does age matter? No. What matters is your music and your use of modern technology. What worked 20 years ago no longer works. The problem
Not only music. I mean, the visual part is important as well, and many bands, they kind of forget about the visual part of their art. So if you're a musician, it doesn't mean that you have to work, that you have to put some effort and energy only in the sound. Because when you will play, when people will search for your music, they will look for your photos on first place or at the second place. So your audience will meet you by your visual style, by your picture. So you have to put energy, and you have to consider the visual part as seriously as your musical part.
Well, I always give this example that if you sell shit in a golden package, you will make the first line of sales, but then everybody realizes that that's shit and your sales will stop. If you sell something nice packed in shit, you will have no sales, because despite the fact that your product is good, but if the wrapping is made of shit, everybody will think that there is shit inside, and you're not going to sell anything. However, the best case scenario is that if you sell gold packaged into gold, because then your sales will be huge, because people will see the nice packaging, and then when they check, they will see that the inside is even better. So I think that's what Jane said here. You should focus not only on the music, but also on everything that goes with the music, like the visuals, you know, your website.
Think of it like of some theatrical performance. So you have the lyrics, you have the music, and you have the picture. So it is important too. Are you planning to bring out your CDs on vinyl?
we evaluated this. You see, the problem with vanilla is that it's very complicated to make. It's very expensive to make. It's very expensive
to ship.
And the margin on it is very small. So we might actually license that, although despite the fact that we've been refusing a lot of licensing deals, or maybe because we understand that the fans want it, but it really takes a lot of resources to make, and it doesn't really give us anything. So maybe, possibly, and also it's almost impossible to print in Russia. So the correct answer is maybe. We hope that we do this at some point, but that's definitely not top priority. Let's put it that way.
Who was your most influential band when growing up?
Ooh, for me, that's definitely Nightwish. No questions here.
When growing up?
Yes. Not growing down, I suppose.
Okay.
Would it be possible to express wishes regarding songs that you could contribute? Well, of course you can express any wish you want. The question is whether we are going to follow it, because songs they usually write themselves. We don't have 100% control. You guys have music that doesn't touch your ears but all the senses. That's actually what we're trying to make. Your music is also special because it brings special energy and rise to another level. That's also what we're trying to make on purpose. Thanks for noticing that.
What inspired your interest in alternative history?
The amount of ignored
things that could not be explained
by the mainstream science. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
The huge, overwhelming amount of evidence which everybody ignores. So this should be for a reason.
Are you actually in Russia at home? Yes.
Yes, in Moscow right now.
And Jane, what was your influence with music? I cannot name the music that I was and am listening now. That I cannot say that this music influences me as a musician, because this is just the music I listen is quite different from Imperial Age's music. I think I listen mostly to gothic rock, just light, slow, with low male vocals. Yes, of course. Yes, of course. I listen to symphonic metal, and I love Nightwish, Within Temptation, and so on. But mostly, I listen to different music, and I cannot say that this music influenced me somehow as an artist. I just listen to this music for to relax. I don't know, to think about something, because I usually I cannot listen to music as a background. I need to dive into music. I need to listen to the lyrics and to think about every song.
We have a political question, although we don't like politics, but this one might work. What advice do you have for fans that are protesting right now around the world? Well, I think that protesting is not a bad thing. I think that the good thing about America is that people have the right to protest, that anybody can go out in the street and say what they think, which is not possible in many countries, including ours. But since I'm asked for advice, I would advise to do that peacefully, because I think that it's good that people express their opinion. I think that it's good that people are ready to stand up for what they believe in, no matter what they believe in, no matter if I agree with that or not. I respect their right to stand up and speak up, because I think that's how the free society should function. However, there is a very good saying that my liberty ends where your liberty starts. So if people start getting violent, if peaceful protests end up with absolutely innocent people, suffering, people who have nothing to do with this, and people who are not guilty in anything, then I think that is not a good thing, and this should not happen. So my advice is, if you feel like protesting, go and speak your mind, no matter if you're left, right, center, whatever, but respect the others, respect your fellow countrymen, respect each other, and solve problems through talking, not through destroying what's not yours. I would say like that. Yeah. Right. So, when will we have new T-shirts available? I will, yeah, as soon as possible, guys. I have the same thing. Do you plan to give a live concert with an orchestra one time? We would love to do that. We were actually thinking of doing an online concert with an orchestra, and that's still an idea. It's a lot of money, but judging by how you guys are supporting us, I think we can pull that off.
And it is much easier to make it from Russia and make a live stream, because it is a great pain in the ass to bring the whole orchestra somewhere to Europe or somewhere and organize the whole show with an orchestra. And it is much easier to do it within Russia, because we have good friends from Moscow Conservatory, and we can assemble the small or medium or huge orchestra. We can find a choir, and we can make really good show, and it would be great to make a live stream of this show to the whole world, just as we did.
Yeah, so probably the next step in online concerts, regardless of COVID, this might well be the case, and also we can show it to much more people. Right. Any other significant questions? Do we have, guys, do you plan on putting together another online gig? Yeah, we just answered that one. Or, boom. Right. Okay. Well, I think this is more or less it. Hope I haven't missed anything. I'd love you guys to send the wife a message. You're her favorite benches at work when you do live videos. Big hi to the wife of TJ Gollyhue. Hello. Right.
Okay, if there is no...
Yeah, I think that's it.
There are no more questions, then thank you, people, for the questions that you've asked. It was really interesting to answer all this, and it was really a good time with you.
Yeah, and see you as soon as possible, and we will launch the Patreon, and the DVD will be available soon. And we will try to write the album as soon as possible. And thank you guys for being there and for supporting us.
And we will play Mexico, and we will play Europe, and the USA, and...
It's going to be cool. Yeah.
Yes.
Cheers.